Well, good day, ladies and gentlemen. How the hell are you all doing today? Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Johnny No Cash, and you are listening to a brand new episode of Life with Johnny No Cash. And I think I'm about at the fucking year mark of this entire podcast. So I just got to say huge thanks to each and every single one of you guys who have been sticking with me through this entire journey. Man, it has been a wild, wild ride for the last year, talking and telling you guys, where I've been, what I've been doing, and some of the ups and downs that I've gone through. But I also want to say to each and every one of you guys who is watching the podcast, I have a camera upgrade. You're probably wondering, why does it look different from the previous ones? Well, it's because of you guys. It's because you guys have been going over to buymeacoffee.com/JohnnyNoCash and donating beer money to me. And little did you know, I'm not putting it towards beers or booze or smokes or anything like that. I'm putting it towards new gear to help make this content be better and a little bit more modern than it was at one point. Next upgrade is a mic stand, because this bandana, it's hanging in there. But either way, I just got to say thank y'all so much for your continued support. Now, if you have been keeping up to date with this, you know that I just got back from Los Angeles, California. I was there for 6 days celebrating one of my closest friends' wedding at Eddie Murphy's house. And in today's episode, I'm not only going to be covering that, but I'm going to be covering my entire trip in California, the ups and a lot of the downs, as well as my entire opinion on the state and my experience. This is only my opinion. This doesn't mean that this is going to be the same experience you guys have, or if you are from California yourself. This is just the fucking days that I was there and what I lived out. And I'll tell you, it ain't what it seems, right? And first and foremost, it is not what it seems. So we're going to talk about that today. But I do want to give a small disclaimer before we dive right into it. This is a long-ass story, so I might have to break this up into episodes or parts, if you will. I know that I have usually about a 20 to 30 minute range on each episode, so I'm going to try and keep it within that, but I can guarantee that this is going to be longer than that, so I might have to break it up. So if you're expecting the wedding and I don't get there at the 20-minute mark, you might want to skip on to part 2. But either way, I'm going to give you guys a detailed rundown of no cash in California, which is built on cash. So grab yourself a beer, grab yourself a steak, get yourself a salad, jump on in, because we're going to dive right in right now. Here we go. I'm living in a van playing outlaw tunes. Life with Johnny No Cash. Smoking them smokes and drinking that booze. Life with Johnny No Cash. Where I go, how the fuck I'll know I'm off the grid on dusty roads. There ain't no better way of eating beans. So I'm going to tell you right off the bat, folks, I'm back in Vancouver. I've been here less than 24 hours. I arrived last night at 3 a.m. And I got to say, first and foremost, it is good to be home. We got it pretty good up here, folks. If you guys are bitching, if you Canadians are bitching about, prices and all that kind of shit, I'm going to dive into that a little bit later on, but we got it good. I do think that the media and the news and movies kind of paint America in this extremely elite light. We got it good here, folks. We really do. And I'll go much more into detail about that the further along I get into the story. But I just got to say, it's so good to be back. It's so good to be, kind of on Canadian soil. And I've actually got like a ton of days on Snowpiercer. So coming home to that really good news is fucking awesome. So it's good to be back. However, I will say that we had an incredible time in Los Angeles, California, Beverly Hills, Venice Beach, Hollywood, all that bullshit. I'm going to talk all about that. But first, I'm going to start at the very, very beginning, okay? I don't want to be jumping around the timeline. I want to tell you guys in depth in the timeline exactly how this trip went down. First of all, as you know, my buddy Mike proposed to Bria Murphy, Eddie Murphy, the Eddie Murphy's eldest daughter, and she said yes. And I am just so honored that he asked me to come to the wedding as a guest. I mean, I met Mike 16 years ago in college. And I'll just say right now, if you guys have really tight friends, hang on to them. because, friendships and bonds like that don't come. I know a lot of people that just don't have close friends and family, and I feel for them. So I'm telling you right now, if you got some people that are close in your life, hang on to them, because knowing that, Mike and I have been so close for so long, and for him to invite me to such an elite wedding. I mean, this guy could have easily invited industry professionals and celebrities and stars that he's already connected with, but no, he chose to choose me and our other college buddy, Brad. We got a story for you, man. So I didn't have a gift. I knew that fucking California was going to be an absolute nightmare on the wallet. And I originally did plan on driving down there. But I realized after doing the number crunching, it was like, man, I can't afford this. There's just no fucking possible way I'd be able to put on that kind of mileage and that kind of fucking wear and tear on my van, as well as just the money in general. I just could not do it. So I decided to fly. And I didn't have a gift. I didn't have a gift for this fucking lavish wedding. Of course, everyone's showing up with like jewelry and all these great things. I had nothing, right? Fucking Johnny no present. So I reached out to the sponsor, which is Nickel 9 Distillery. And I got to say, thank you guys so much for pulling through, not just sponsoring me with Crazy Monkey Vodka, but we came up with the idea of sending the best and tastiest gin I've ever tasted. It's called Hidden Temple. We sent 156 bottles down through the states from Toronto, Ontario, all the way to California as gifts for the guests as well as the bars. Unbelievable feat that we had to jump through fucking hoops of flames to get this booze there, and it arrived at the very last minute, fucking 13th hour, man. I'm telling you right now, we were so close to not making it over the border, because shipping that kind of booze, it's totally legal. It's totally fucking illegal, but sometimes you got to jump through them hoops to make things happen. And that's what we did. We were able to legally send the booze, and it got there just in time. So that was my gift. And I just got to say, huge thanks to Nickel 9. You guys fucking killed it. And the gin is absolutely stunningly beautiful. We had a little tag on it saying, congratulations from Nickel 9 and Johnny No Cash. So that was my gift to not just Mike, but all the guests there. And I'm so happy that they enjoyed it, and Nickel 9 provided that. So just thank you so much. And man, I'll tell you, I was biting my fucking fingers to the bone because there was so much pressure on me. They're like, hey man, the booze ain't here. The booze ain't here, and the wedding planner needs that fucking booze now. And we had no control over it. Like the FDA was all over it. We had to sign fucking tons of fucking documents of describing what the fuck it was. It was just an absolute fucking nightmare. But we did it. And I just got to say, I couldn't have done it without them. So if you are in Ontario, you got to check this shit out. But that being said, finally the fucking booze got there. And now I can breathe some fresh air and get on this plane and start fucking partying in California. I mean, as y'all know, you got this picture of what California is and what to expect. And it is nothing like what you expect. California kind of fucking sucks, folks. It kind of fucking sucks. First and foremost, before we even get on the plane, we're getting fucking robbed at the airport. $70. 70 for 2 beers and a fucking pound of wings. A pound of wings! And they fucked up the order. Oh man, this was not a good fucking start. Rocky ass start. I'm not liking this. I'm not liking where this is going, right? And I'm one of these types of people that sometimes, like I kind of, it's like ladies' justice. I'm kind of trying to weigh out the good and the bad. And I'm like, all right, we're at 50-50 here. We're pretty even. Then I didn't get a confirmation email for my food at the wedding. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? I just fucking sent down almost $10,000 worth of booze and I ain't getting a meal? Like my buddy Brad got a confirmation email. I didn't. What the fuck is going on? Am I going to be like eating hors d'oeuvres all night and just drinking? No. I want some of that Angus beef. I want some of that Angus steak that Brad got one. I got to see the menu. So I ended up having to email the wedding planner personally and saying, yo, what the fuck, man? I got to eat. Or I'm going to be shit-faced all night, and I'm going to be a fool of myself. I don't want to do that. I don't want to get the boot from Eddie Murphy's place because I'm too wasted because I didn't eat anything. And so they fucked up, And they're like, yeah, I'm sorry. We sent it to the wrong email. What do you want? And I was like, I want the fucking steak. I want that fucking steak, man. I want that rich steak. I want the steak that fucking celebrities eat. So she was like, cool, it's all good. Fine. So fucking plane's delayed. Great. You know, it's like, what's going on here? This is going off to a real rocky start. You know, is the fucking pilot is this his first fucking trip? What's going on? So finally, we get fucking bored. Everything's fine for the most fucking part. And we get to Los Angeles, and I'll tell you right now, the air was different. It was dry. And the fucking palm trees. I'd never seen palm trees like in real life, like natural palm trees. It was fucking weird. This is everything that you think it is. You know, the smog, the sun going down, and you seeing that orange haze through the city, through the skyscrapers just beaming through, and the fucking heat. The heat's just getting to you already. The moment we got off the plane, and we said to ourselves, listen, we got to come up with a plan. Because we're broke. We do not fit in this wedding. We are clearly the poorest people that are going to be there. We really need to do some damn budgeting. So rather than fucking getting taxis and public transit, we decided to rent a car. That way we could bomb around wherever the fuck we wanted to go and, you know, like pick up and leave anytime. No bullshit. And we decided to do this, and we went through a company called Thrifty. That's why they're called that, because they're fucking thrifty. They're fucking ripoffs. We booked the damn thing online. It was supposed to be $100, $100 for a car. We're like, hell yeah, man. We can bomb around for a fucking full day on $100. Otherwise, we're going to be both sharing taxis and fucking transit, and who knows how long this is going to take. Now we can go into the desert. We can go anywhere we want. So, no, it ain't $100. No, not at all. They're like tacking on fucking new fees, deposit fees, you know, insurance fees, all this bullshit. It came out to over $400 once we got to the gate. At this point, it's 11:30 at night, and we still wanted to see Mike and Bria, like personally before the wedding. We wanted to say hello and like good to see, you know, catch up, because we knew we weren't going to be able to do that at the wedding. It was just going to be chaos. So we're like, oh, you're really fucking thrifting us. You're really thrifting us, Thrifty. So finally, we fucking get this goddamn car. And I'll tell you right now, folks, try and envision this. Once we hit that highway, it's seven lanes. 7 lanes. And it's empty. We're just fucking bombing. 80 miles an hour. And I'll tell you right now, folks, because I'm going to slip up at some point, I was smoking cigarettes the entire time. I was on vacation. So we're hacking darts. I got a fucking small little Mickey of scotch in the side panel, drinking booze, fucking speeding, smoking smokes, listening to Snoop Dogg. It was like, fucking right. Just the wind going through our hair, man. And we're like screaming that we're in Los Angeles, man. And like everything that you've seen on the movies, all those chases, they're happening right on this fucking highway. It was unreal. It was surreal. And seeing the palm trees, and like I said, the city lights kind of peering through them and just beaming down on everything. And I'll tell you, man, the advertisements in the city are the size of fucking skyscrapers. I guess Thor was coming out that weekend. There was a fucking poster of Thor that must have been 12 stories high. No word of a lie. Like, just astronomical. Everything was just big. You got this 7-lane highway. You got these fucking advertisements for everything. Like everything. It's just ads for Netflix and Hulu and all this shit all over the place. It's just nothing like Vancouver at all. Nothing like Toronto at all. So finally we get to Mike's place, and I'll tell you right now, folks, it was just so good to hang out with our good friend and to meet Bria for the first time in person. And I'll tell you, man, she is a fucking babe. You got to check her out. Like, but the best part about her was she was in sweats and in a hoodie. And she was a smoke show, drop dead gorgeous, and just the nicest woman, and just so accommodating and polite. It was just like, God damn, man, like you hit the jackpot with this one. So Mike fucking grabbed some beers, and we're having some, he actually gave us the gin for the first time. I'd never tasted this shit until we got to Mike's place, and it is fucking incredible. It's the weirdest, it's almost like a vodka gin. It doesn't taste like pine needles. It tastes like flowers. So we're rocking this gin, we're rocking some beers, and we're catching up on old times, and we're just having a good fucking time. And like I said, like you got to stick with your brothers and sisters, people that have been there by your side this entire time. And man, it was just so good to kind of catch up face to face with no stress at all. And we only stayed there for a little bit. It was just kind of a quick pop in, grab the gin, say good day, and kind of book her out of there. And we get to our hotel. I got a hotel, and 2-star hotel. So don't think that I'm fucking staying at the Marriott. Now, I got it was called the Beverly Inn. You can Google that too. It's a shithole, man. Fucking violence all up and down that street. And like no bars on the windows. Luckily, I don't have much to steal, but even still, it's one of those things. It's like, this is a shitty neighborhood. What could happen? Either way, Brad stayed at a hostel, and we just decided to meet up the next day and really fucking explore this place. You all know, you've seen Hollywood, you've seen LA on the movies, on TV and shit like that, and we wanted to put it to the test. We wanted to see what this fucking city was all about. The city of lights, the city of fucking fame, Marlon Brando, Paul Newman, fucking some of the greatest actors and stars of all fucking time are living in this city. So let's check it out. So we fucking checked it out, and right away, it fucking sucks. California blows, folks. Ain't a great city. Totally overrated, and we were extremely underwhelmed. We went to the Walk of Fame, as they say. Fucking Walk of Ghosts. Nobody's out. No fucking cosplayers, no people walking their dogs, nobody taking photos. It was literally just a fucking ghost town. Boring as all fuck. Get the hell out and retire because this place sucks. We literally didn't even stop. It was that bad. We're driving through and we're like, this is what I've been hearing all about? This fucking sucks. This could be on any fucking side street. And sure, big deal. You see fucking Rosie O'Donnell's star on the fucking big deal. Who gives a shit? So we didn't even stop. We're like, okay, this sucks. But, we got to go to Sunset Strip, right? This is the place to go. I've heard tons of stories about Sunset Strip. This is Friday, by the way, folks. This is a Friday. We're driving along, man. And nobody's out. Like, nobody does anything. The whole streets were just fucking ghosts. So we finally get to the Strip, and again, not a goddamn person out. Nobody doing anything. No bars were open at this time. Nothing was open. And we're like, why is this place so famous? So we're puttering around. We're like, well, okay, all right. Let's go to the Hollywood sign. That's a guarantee because we know it exists, right? Let's go to the Hollywood sign. So we're driving through the hills. We've put it in Google Maps, which sucks, by the way. Google Maps can go fuck themselves. It is the worst app for finding your way because I swear they got some fucking deal with the gas companies to bring you the longest and shittiest route for gas. I don't know. It says fuel efficient route. Bullshit. Go fuck yourself, Google. You can die. So we start going up the hills. And it's a nice drive. I will give it that. But once we get to the top, it's gated. Fucking Hollywood sign is gated. And like we're now in a subdivision, some fucking, semi-rich neighborhood, their subdivision. There's no parking. We're literally in some guy's driveway at this gate. And there's fucking guards and cameras. You got to take a photo through people's homes just to get a fucking look at the Hollywood sign. It's lame. And we're like, why can't you hike up here? Why can't you take a walk? No, you can't do that. We're like, why? This, all right, this is blowing ass. And Brad and I are looking at each other. And also, every mile that we drive, we're spending money, right? Because we pay for the gas. We're just fucking throwing cash out the fucking window. And we can't even see the fucking sign properly. I'll put it in the video here. I'll show you the photo that we could get, the closest fucking photo we could get. It sucks. So now we got to go back down the fucking this hill, and we're in neutral. We're like, we ain't spending any gas, man. We're not spending any money like if we're going downhill. We're just going neutral the whole fucking way. And then finally, we're going to figure out what to do. So we go to fucking Hollywood. Sucks. Nothing. We're not seeing anything. We go to Rodeo Drive. I'm looking up on fucking online. Where are some places to go? Rodeo Drive. If anybody is familiar, it's like the ritzy kind of strip where it's like Tiffany's and fucking Prada and all the rich shit that I would never, ever in a million years be able to afford. But it's somewhere, I guess, to check out. And it sucked. Like, fuck. We're just like, this is overhyped bullshit. I'm telling you, folks, if you're thinking of going to California, second guess it. Second fucking guess it. There's got to be another city that's more lively and cooler because, yeah, and Rodeo Drive is literally 3 blocks. It's nothing. You're just like hopping from one rich corner to the next rich corner. And that's it. And then you're out. I didn't even take a photo because it was that, like, unimpressed. We're wild. So then we're like, what the fuck do we do now? Let's go to Venice Beach. We've heard all about Venice Beach. This is fucking, Gold's Gym, Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's one of my heroes. Like, that's where he was hanging out and fucking pumping iron and shit. Let's go check this shit out. And I gotta say, with all this negativity, Venice Beach was really quite cool. It had that famous skate park that Tony Hawk and Rodney Mullen and all those boys used to skate in. Huge fucking beach, is long. It's probably the widest beach I'd ever seen. It was just absolutely incredible white sand. The sun was beating fucking down. Drinking this fucking hidden temple gin with Squirt. I found this soda pop that's actually called Squirt, and there's no way I ain't buying this shit. So I ended up buying some Squirt, and we're having a great old time. And the cool thing about the skate park is that everybody was welcome. It didn't matter what level of skill you had or what gender or how old or how young. Everybody was allowed and nobody was like bullying people. Like it's not like you needed to be a certain skill level to skate there. It was so cool. It was very inclusive. And not just that, the characters on this strip are out of a fucking movie. Something like, The Fifth Element or something. There's like wild hairdos, wild face tattoos, wild clothing. Like everyone's just out to fucking lunch. And I loved it. Anybody could be themselves. It was really quite refreshing because everywhere else we had gone, it was like everyone was just cookie cutter off the assembly line. This is where the freaks hang out, and I loved it. It was we went and saw some of the best basketball players, some of the best skaters, some of the best fucking roller skaters. Like everyone is doing their thing and they're good. And it was just so cool to fucking witness with our own 2 eyes. And we're just getting shit-faced. Well, I am. Brad's keeping it fucking cool. I gotta say, Brad and I are tight, but we're not like best friends. And to have him as a comrade during this trip was amazing. We worked together. We really kind of bonded together, and we always agreed, on the destinations we wanted to do. Because it could be tough traveling with somebody that you're not like, super, super close with. So it was so cool, and it probably had something to do that we were so different, but also so similar. And we just decided, this is cool and all, but we got to get the fuck out of Dodge. Let's see something else. Let's go into the mountains. Let's fucking, smoke some cigarettes and drink some booze in the mountains. So we go all the way up to the mountains, and I'll tell you, man, again, here in Canada, we've got some incredible views, and we take it for granted. Because when we were up in the hills of California, I think it was just north of Santa Monica, it was an incredible view, but the smog, you could barely fucking see the mountains. I mean, the sun coming down and like that orange glow that you see in all the films and that kind of thing, that exists. It's beautiful. And it's like a beautiful sunset. But the smog, you can almost like fucking wave it with your hand. It's so thick. And the rolling hills were just, it was gorgeous. But again, you couldn't see probably a kilometer in front of you. That was the thing. It was great, though. Him and I were playing old Neanderthal games, like who can hit that rock, and if you can't hit it, you got to take a drink. So we're having a great old fucking time up there. And just, again, kind of like reflecting on the whole experience of this trip so far. Everything has been blowing ass. Nothing has been fucking adding up. Our wallets are being decimated. I mean, earlier in the day, we had to stop for a drink and a meal. It was 14 American dollars for a fucking Caesar salad. And then we got a fucking sangria. A sangria, I know. I wanted one. Got a fucking sangria, and it was $12 American dollars. Are you kidding me, folks? Who can survive in the city? How does anybody fucking live there? We were talking to our Uber driver at one point because we had to get from one spot to another. We're like, how the fuck do you survive? And she was like, I got 3 jobs. Great way of living, folks. Great fucking way of living. You know, the city is really meant for the rich and famous. It is not meant for people flipping burgers or, you know, fucking, it's just not meant for the regular folk. It really isn't. Too expensive and you go crazy. Like your life would pass you by because you're working for some rich asshole the entire fucking time. So again, if you want to go to California, you better have some cash because it ain't fucking worth it. It sucks to nickel and dime there because you're missing out on some of the things. Like we couldn't afford to go to Universal Studios. We couldn't afford, Brad wanted to go golfing. Couldn't afford to do that. Couldn't afford to do shit. Other than go into the mountains and play fucking who can hit that rock with this rock. That was our fucking carnival. And I won, by the way. 3-0. So at this point, we're like, let's get the fuck out of here, right? Let's go to Chick-fil-A. Apparently, like, we don't have Chick-fil-A in Canada, and their sauce is apparently legendary. Like, people buy the shit by the tubs and bring it home and fucking smear it on bread. We're like, all right, well, I got to try this shit. And I got to say, pretty good. Chick-fil-A sauce is pretty damn fucking good, man. Yeah, you guys got something going on down there, Americans. Chick-fil-A is pretty damn good chicken. I'll give you that. But now, of course, we got to get ready for the wedding, and it's coming up the next day. We don't want to be too hungover. We want to kind of be on our best behavior, so we decided to fucking tune it in and fucking turn it in. That is, it was about midnight, 1 o'clock at this point, and just fucking call it a night. So Brad dropped me off at the hotel where there was like gunshots going on. Immediately after he left, there was like fucking gunshots right outside my window. And I'm like, well, this is probably a good indication for me to go to bed. And we wanted to look good. We wanted to look fucking decent for the wedding. We didn't want huge fucking bags under our eyes reeking of booze and sweat. Because I'll tell you, man, like here in Vancouver, we have like kind of like more of a moist heat, like more of a humid, but it's fucking dry there, man. It just sticks to you. You got to fucking shower every day. I mean, anyway, we're not talking about showering, okay? So anyway, we get back to our hotels and we go pass out. And the next day, the plan was I was going to meet Brad at his fancy hotel, which was the Beverly Hotel and Spa. And this was just oozing of stinking rich. Like the stinkers of the fucking rich all clamor in there and show off to one another how much cash they got. And Brad literally used every single dollar he had to book this hotel. Broke. I thought I was broke. Brad, I'll tell you, if you listen to this, man, you are terrible with your money, man. Although he did get thrifted by the thrifty because, like I said, he got fucked over with that. And I don't know what the outcome is now, but I think he's in like some fucking legal battle with them right now because they owe him so much money for the insurance and the deposit and all that shit. Fuck thrifty. So we go into this hotel, and I'll tell you, it sucked. Fucking hotel, Beverly Spa and whatever, it sucked. I mean, my hotel was a 2-star. Sure, it was stinky, and, you know, the sheets were nasty, and it had, like, a rotary phone. Like, it was a pretty rough-looking hotel, and, yeah, there was gunshots and shit like that. But his hotel sucked. Like a small little fucking bed, television on the wall, nice bathroom, but nothing fucking else. What are you paying for? Like literally just the luxury to say that you're at the Beverly Hotel and Spa, right? I don't know, man. It could be me. Maybe I'm bitter, but like, fuck those places. Just go. Even if you're rich and you're listening to this, you don't need to fucking show off your clout at these shitholes. Sure, the lobby was incredible. Like fucking crystal chandelier, gold inlay on all the banisters and stuff like that. Who cares? Who cares? It's not in your room. That's just in the fucking lobby. A room is just a white fucking box with a bed. Big deal. Yay. So we're getting ready for the wedding, and I gotta say, My fucking tux had a stain on it. Yep, right by the fucking collar. A stain. Like, did the fucking boys that I got here in Vancouver not wash the damn thing? And I'm freaking out because this is like elite. It's got a fucking stain on it. And then my bow tie, which was chained, like I designed this with the seamsters. I was like, I want chains all over this fucking tux. I want it to stand out. I don't want to just be a fucking penguin walking in like everybody else. I want to kind of, stand out a bit. And the chain on my bow tie was falling off. I'm like, of course this happens to me. I'm going to look like a bum. The one time I'm trying to look decent, I got a fucking stain on my collar and the bow tie is falling apart. Perfect. I'm getting pissed. Getting real pissed off. And I'm getting worried because, I don't know what to expect for this wedding. Are they going to be kind of like inspecting you as you walk in to see if you meet a certain dress code? They're going to be like, hey, what's that on your collar? Is that Chick-fil-A sauce? Well, I don't know. It very well fucking could be. But, and what's with the bow tie? It looks like it's dilapidated and took a shit all over itself. Well, it did. So I said, fuck the bow tie. Just fucking unbutton it a bit, do my best to kind of look decent enough. And because I'm still a nobody's eyes are really going to be on me that much. But I will say I did design these chains around the button, the pocket, the breast pocket, and it was great. Sorry, my light went out, which is probably a good indication for me to wrap up this episode. I'm going to get into the entire wedding in part 2 of this. I'm going to charge my light, and also this has already been about a 30-minute episode as is, so I'm going to spare you guys an hour-long sit-down, and I'm going to break this up into 2 parts. I hope you guys enjoyed this story so far. I hope you're learning something about California and the state itself, fucking Santa Monica, Venice Beach, all that kind of shit, because it is nothing what you see in the movies. It is nothing what you think. It is a complete scam. Don't go. Avoid it. Unless you want to fucking just tag Venice Beach for your Instagram or some bullshit. Who cares, man? It really doesn't matter. Sure, it was a beautiful view at Venice Beach, and I did feel like I fit in there. I really did. I felt at home, but ultimately, should you book a flight to California for the Walk of Fame and for Hollywood Boulevard and Santa Monica and all this kind of Rodeo? No, absolutely not. I would say avoid it like the plague and just go, somewhere average. And also avoid those fucking rich hotels. It's a total ripoff. So I hope you guys learned something today. I hope you also had a couple chuckles, couple laughs, and I hope you enjoyed that steak or salad or beer or whiskey that you were drinking throughout this episode. But I'm going to break this up into 2 parts, so stay tuned for the wedding half of this and the back half. It's been an adventure, folks. It has been an absolute wild ride, and I could go on and on and on about this, but like I said, I don't want to bore you guys with an hour-long episode, so we're going to stop it right here, and you guys can take a break, go to the bathroom, grab yourself a new drink, and we'll catch up in a bit. So until next time, I'm out. Stay dusty. Cheers. I'm living in a van playing outlaw tunes. Life with Johnny No Cash. Smoking them smokes and drinking that booze. Life with Johnny No Cash. Where I go, how the fuck I'll know. I'm off the grid on dusty roads. There ain't no better way of eating beans.